Hey, Jonah.
Hey,
How now?
Kenny,
How you did?
I did. What's up?
Yeah,
I'm
not
good,
much.
man.
Great.
How's it going at your end?
Well, we're trying to make sense of everything. Okay, so let me quickly go straight to it. So Jonah is a media executive and a political enthusiast. He's also an author. I've read your book, First Generation. The conversation about the first generation, the book, is for another day, because I think we should even talk about
Yes.
that, because that was one fantastic attempt to make us see what the average young graduate goes through in Nigeria, using your own personal story. And to be honest, I could relate with every part, every chapter in that book. Um, for anyone who has not read it, I'm recommending that book right now. It's amazing. It's something you should buy for your kids, something that every young Nigerian should read. And not all of us will japa. A very,
Yeah,
very
that's
high
correct.
percentage of young Nigerians who still live in this country and build a career here. So these are some of the, you know, knowledge they need to acquire from people who have been through what they're going through or what they're about to go through, right? So we're going to talk about first generation some other time, but today I want us to talk
Yeah.
about the state of Nigeria. Let's look at what is going on. There's a perceived uncertainty. We're looking at the 2023 election, and there is this perceived uncertainty. We really do not know where things are going. What's what are your views about this 2023 general elections in Nigeria?
You know what? This uncertainty about our elections didn't start today. It was always there. For in each of the election cycle, you will hear that it poses an existential threat to the country. And after everything is still come and go, and then elections will hold. And I've come to understand that in Nigeria, you know, rain and tax are permanent,
That's right.
right? In Nigeria, that list includes elections.
Mm.
So if you begin to name the things that are permanent, you should include elections in Nigeria, because no matter what happens, there will be elections. When we are fighting Boko Haram at its peak in 2015, elections held. Even in the remotest part of Borno, where there are no more residents, elections held and results trickled in. So forget all this uncertainty. There is nothing. Nigeria is at its one of the most peaceful period compared
Wow.
to the past two election cycles. So there will be elections. Forget all the shenanigans by politicians and their opponents. There will be elections, no matter what happens. Elections will hold. The US predicted the end of Nigeria in 2015 or so.
Yeah,
We are still here.
ended in
We've had
2015.
elections in 2019,
That's right.
and we're here now. So we know that we are at the precipice, that a lot of things have gone wrong, and we are at a crossroads. There is a lot at stake. We understand that. But whether the elections will hold or not, that is even a no-brainer. There will be elections. So I'm not even bothered about that uncertainty.
Talking about these politicians and the perception, many Nigerians are not seeing anything getting better anytime soon. Truth is, a lot of young Nigerians particularly have lost hope in the same political elites. Do you think something good can still come out of this same class of politicians? Where do you stand? Do you think anything good can come out? Let's say elections will hold and Nigeria will continue to exist as it is. But do you think we have a solution in this political class?
To be fair to the Nigerian youths who have become despondent, you do not blame them. Things have gone on so bad for a long time that it takes a nation with such vibrant young people to still have some level of trust and hope in an entity like this. So is there hope in this class of politicians? I don't believe there is, sadly, but something is going on.
Okay, what is it?
The youth, young people are beginning to understand that, hey, if the status quo must change, we must take active part in the political process. And they have identified some of the actors in the oncoming elections who stand a chance to bequeath a level of hope in the Nigerian project. And they are beginning to gather. Young people are beginning to go and queue to get their PVCs. All over social media, they are beginning to speak out, to talk to themselves, knowing that if we cannot take active part in the political process, we have lost the right to complain or to even protest. So while I believe that this crop of politicians who brought us to where we are cannot continue to remain on the driving seat, a lot of Nigerian young people have discovered this and they are making conscious efforts to change it.
But
I think that's
Jonah, we said the same thing in 2014. We said the same thing in 2018 before those elections. We said the same thing. 2010, we're here again saying young people are rising. Some of these things you said led to the not too young to run. And we've seen how much the youths have done well when given the opportunity. Do you really think that the youth are really going to make any difference?
No. It's not about the youth becoming the politicians. No.
Yeah.
It's about standing up to decide who becomes the leader.
The leader. Now, the quality of
Before
this
now, there was, NSAS did not happen. NSAS didn't happen all those periods.
Right. But guess what?
NSAS was the game changer.
Yes, it was supposed to be a game changer, but the quality of decision making by the youth is also a problem. Who are the people who kill behind these politicians that you are tired of? The youth. Who are the people killing and fighting because of these politicians? The youth. Who are the people voting and making the decision? The youth. And we've been at this same talk of youth rising up for about 15 years.
No, I think things are different now. If you are gauging the political atmosphere, things are changing. I don't know which platforms you interact with.
You don't think money can change the change?
Money. Haven't you noticed yet that before now, a lot of money will be flowing? Not much is flowing now.
Well, you never can
Market women, they are beginning to say, look, go and keep your 1,000. We don't want it. You need to keep your ears to the ground. Things are shifting. It will be sad to be disappointed. But
I tell you, where you and I stand is different from where things are happening. What we see in our fancy offices looking over the lagoon is different from what is going on in the grassroots. Trust me, the same mindsets that we saw years ago, they're still repeating themselves. What we're doing differently is that the elites, the more knowledgeable, are now saying, collect the money, but please, you really can't tell anybody, don't collect these monies. You can't tell these young people who really need the money not to collect the money. The only thing you can do is to encourage them, okay, get the money, but please, like beg, please do the right thing after collecting the money. A lot of money is being thrown around right now, and a lot of decisions being made as well. So I'm wondering how you have this confidence and enthusiasm that the young people are ready to change the change. I'm wondering where it's coming from, Jonah, because I'm not seeing it.
I am seeing it.
Okay.
As I said, I'm not sure which platforms you interact with or engage in, but where I interact mostly right? Yeah. Most young people are seriously scared. Things have gone on badly for so long. And they're beginning to understand that they must play active part. The era of pessimism is beginning to come to an end because the reality is staring us in the face. We have
How
just
do you
this election
how,
correct.
okay, so how do you gauge that pessimism that the era is gone, because we've not had this much japa in years? So how do you gauge that? Because this is a time where more Nigerians, more young Nigerians are running away, but we're also seeing more of pessimism.
Let
How
us
do
be
we?
clear. What's the percentage? What is the percentage of young Nigerians that are Japan?
I don't have the stats.
You don't have the stats, but I think it's all hot air. A lot of us cannot afford to Japa. That's the truth.
Yeah, legal or illegal means a lot of us cannot. Yeah,
a
that's
lot
right.
of us cannot afford it.
That's right.
So this Japa thing is still a middle class thing. People who have the good fortune of having well-to-do parents, attending universities, having a master's degree. Yes. So a whole lot of us are still here.
We will be here. We will be here.
And we will be here. You understand? So, see, for the first time in many years, in many election cycles, people are beginning to go back to their villages to go to canvass. There is a certain political figure who has become very popular among the young people. As I speak to you, they are planning a 1 million man march across all the 36 states. Young people.
I want to believe that man, the person you're talking about is Peter Obi, right?
Exactly.
Because I know you believe a lot in the ambition of Mr. Peter Obi to become president of Nigeria. But so now that you mentioned him, let's just dive in straight into it. Why do you believe so much in Peter Obi?
It was one great man that I know who said that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a statesman to be elected through an election. And we are at that point now. Nigeria needs a statesman. Because he also said that politicians are elected all the time, but statesmen are elected once in a blue moon. Peter Obi is a statesman. And if Nigeria is going to make any meaningful progress, we need someone like him. He has demonstrated it beyond any reasonable doubt. It is not every day that you see a politician come out and say, I was governor for 8 years and you cannot pin any debt on me. No matter how hard they have tried, he has been governor for 8 years. It's been more than 8 years since he left office, yet they are still unable to pin any debt on him. And he's telling you the things he did. And the beneficiaries are coming out to say, yes, indeed, he did these things. He was accountable with public resources. He managed it effectively. Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we do the right thing and elect a man like that? Let me tell you, I'll give you an example. The British Empire was wallowing they were declining prior to the election of Margaret Thatcher. The cause of the decline was because they felt they were rich. So social welfare was what they were dependent on. People became lazy, they were not productive, they were depending on handouts from the state. It was when they elected Margaret Thatcher that she ended this subsidy regime and put Britain back to work. Thatcher was a stateswoman, And they kept Thatcher for 12 years to rebuild the United Kingdom. FDR, in America, they kept him for how long? 12 years. America sank into Great Depression in the 1930s. If they didn't bring that man, he was a statesman. Even after he suffered the polio and was on wheelchair, they couldn't let him go.
That's right.
He had to rebuild America. He was the only American president I can remember that spent 12 years in office. He was a statesman. He cared for his country. Now bringing it home to a third world country that transformed into a first world before our very eyes, Singapore.
Right.
Lee Kuan Yew was a statesman. He turned a third world country into a first world while we all are watching. They are contemporaries, but see where we are now, see where Singapore is. Lee Kuan Yew made all the right decisions. He was a frugal man who knew how to turn the country to a productive focus. See where Singapore is today. See where we are as a country.
Well,
so when Peter Obi speaks, I see a Lee Kuan Yew, I see a Thatcher, I see FDR. We have to get to that point where we elect a statesman, someone willing to stake whatever is necessary to make Nigeria beneficial to everybody, not to a certain class of people.
Yeah, but do you really think Peter Obi has that? Because all this link with you, Margaret Thatcher, you mentioned, these are very strong personalities, soft personalities, uneasy to bend, uneasy to bully. A lot of people have said Peter Obi looks too soft to lead a tough country like Nigeria, where things are not just normal. Do you think he has that kind of will, that strength, that mental toughness?
I think people who make that statement don't understand Anambra. Anambra is one of the toughest places in Igbo land. How do you run a place like Anambra without being a strong man? Because you are dealing with very educated, very rich people who are very unruly, who don't give a damn about law or rule of law. Anambra was a banana republic prior to Obi. Look, you can go to Anambra. If you have had any encounter with an Anambra person, you should understand what I'm talking about. If you do it in Anambra, you can replicate it anywhere. Anambra is one of the toughest places to be a governor.
Okay, so
you know how it is now.
Yeah, so you think that for 2023, Peter Obi is our best choice as a country?
And let me tell you, you say Thatcher was tough, Lee Kuan Yew was tough. See, the parliamentary system and the presidential system, which is tougher?
That's a good point.
These people led their country in a parliamentary system.
That's right. That's right.
The presidential system almost gives you an unparalleled authority.
Yes, yes, especially the version we have in Nigeria.
And you're telling me you are soft, you got what? All you have is all you need.
But Jonah, let me ask you
to do the right thing.
Fantastic. The courage and the will is what you need as the next leader of Nigeria to make a change. Unfortunately, things are so bad right now that the next leader of Nigeria only has to be average to be seen as special. But that's a topic for another day because things are so bad.
Yeah.
Now, but let's look at the Ipob thing. Can a lot of things going on in the Southeast right now. So I'm assuming that you believe that presidency should come to the Southeast. But with all the things happening with Ipob and ESN and co, can Nigerians really trust the Southeast to produce the next president?
I don't understand. This is one of the questions.
So this question is based on a lot of comments. If you, I think you should understand because you're very, very regular on social media. You're active on Twitter, and a lot of comments have been said about these things, right? So what do you think about it? A lot of people have said, can you trust an Igbo man to become president? Oh, you're going to bring back Biafra if they can become president. So, I mean, I don't agree to that, but what do you say as a man from the Southeast? What would you say to such people?
Before Ipob, right? Before Ipob became started carrying out some violent, attacks and, that attributed to them, they still claim to be very peaceful people, right? A peaceful organization. But there is a version of them that have gone rogue and they are carrying out attacks against the Nigerian state. But we must also understand that prior to Ipob, a lot of people were just, we have secessionist movement across the world, in Spain, in Brazil, you have them everywhere, right? So there isn't anything special. And that is on the perceived injustice and inequity that has pervaded the Nigerian state. The Igbo man doesn't feel accepted here, right? And the onus is not on the Igbos to prove that they can be trusted. No, the onus is on the Nigerian state to prove that it has any law for the Igbo man. Do you understand? The cutthroat terrorist group Boko Haram were slaughtering thousands and displacing millions when we trusted Buhari. And because of a secessionist group, agitating against injustice and inequity, you are saying you cannot trust one of them who has supported and built the Nigerian state to where it is.
So from that line of thought, let me quickly bring this in. Do you think that a Peter Obi emergence can douse the tension in the Southeast?
100%. I believe it so.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back. Okay. Go ahead.
Look, all the fighting you are seeing in Igbo land is because, see, an average Igbo man doesn't understand what is in it for him in the Nigerian project. And the statistics are there to show. Where is the Igbo man? Where do you locate the Igbo man in the Nigerian project? Where are they? Tell me. If it were possible for the Nigerian government to control trade, perhaps the Igbo man will all be in the farming.
Okay, so let me ask, before the 2015 election, as we prepare for the election, I was in the newsroom at the time. I worked in the newsroom, so I was very much into that election. One of the narratives then was that electing Buhari would put an end to Boko Haram. In quotes, of course, we knew politicians at their sweet talk and all that. So this is sounding similar. Electing Peter Obi will put an end to the agitation in the Southeast. What do you think about that similarity?
See, let me tell you, Boko Haram was, the Buhari's expectation was based on the fact that he was a general.
A military man and a northerner.
Yes. So we needed some military solution to the terrorist group. Unfortunately, he has failed woefully to bring his experience to bear.
It's a sad story.
In addressing the challenge. So, but in this instance, see, the only thing average Igbo man likes to live life, right? They want to have a meaningful life. No Igbo man wants to go to the bush and be fighting for nothing.
Okay.
If you give the man a meaningful engagement, give him what to do, provide good life for him. Nobody wants to be in the bush.
Fantastic.
There are more Igbo people outside Nigeria, a significant chunk of Igbo people outside Igbo land who don't give a damn about Biafra. Biafra for what? Who wants to go and start afresh?
Because we are running out of time.
When you can build on something new, when you can build on infrastructure, who do you want to go and start from the scratch?
Okay, fantastic. We have just about 3 minutes more because I know. But hey, let me quickly bring something in. The vice president. I know you can talk about Peter Obi for 1 year, but let's talk about the vice president. It's part of the government. This same Buhari government is part of the government. Nigerians can't wait for them to leave. Most Nigerians. So what are his chances? Let's in the midst of all this.
To be honest, if we have to choose between Oshibanjo and Peter Obi, Nigeria is also a winner. Nigeria is already a winner. See,
Wow.
the man was limited by the prevailing incompetence of the Buhari administration. And we understand that the constitution doesn't allow the vice president to do much.
That's right.
So I believe that if he gets the ticket from the APC, I don't even care about all this Southwest, this thing. Let Nigeria work.
Right,
but
right.
If, come on, who else would it be again that people can trust, really? I don't understand.
Why not Tinubu, Amechi, and the rest of them?
No. Forget all those Garulos people. They are just talk, hot air, nothing. We need people who are calm, coordinated, understand the complexity of the Nigerian situation. Not people who can just come and talk, just flow with the tide. No, we are at a precipice. And I think Osibanjo fits the mold.
So for you, the ideal election in 2023 will be PDP, Peter Obi. Wonderful. Who would you vote for?
Look, if PDP gives us a Peter Obi, well, it's a no-brainer. My choice is made easy. I'm going for a Peter Obi. Peter Obi addresses multiple problems. One, it addresses the inequity problem, right? So the agitation about the Southeast not being accommodated in the Nigerian project is easily addressed, right? And then he also has the competence required to put the Nigerian ship back in sail. So that's Peter Obi for me, and he's the man to do the job. But if we do not get him, and we have to choose between an Osibanjo and someone in PDP, I would go for an Osibanjo anytime, any day. But if Peter Obi is pitched against Osibanjo, I'm going for a Peter Obi because Osibanjo has been tainted by the incompetence of this administration. And he has that baggage, right?
On his neck, yeah.
How is he going to now, upturn the entire structure of the APC and behave differently as president? It's highly unlikely. I don't see that happening. So that's it for me.
Okay, interesting. So we wait for 2023. We wait for all the decisions to be made by the parties, and we see where Nigeria is going. Until we fix the problem of the issue of emergence, how candidates emerge within these parties, Nigeria will still be at the mercy of this same political class that you've lost faith in. But we hope for the best. Do you think there's a chance for a third force?
See, for me, I don't believe in any dark horse. Forget, dark horses are usually what they are, dark horse. Yeah. Unprepared. They don't know what to do.
Right. We've tried it several times.
Yes, we've tried it several times. It didn't work because they're unprepared. I think the so-called third force are getting their priorities wrong.
That's right.
If you really want to be a leader and serve the people, you should go and learn the foundations. What about running for a state house of assembly? What about going to the Senate, contesting for governor? Do you understand? You don't just come out of anywhere because you succeeded in your professional career. I want to be president of Nigeria. I find it very unserious most times.
All right, Jonah, thank you so much. It's been this conversation. I wish we could just go on and on, but I see you're in the car. You're on your way somewhere already.
Yes.
Let me allow you do your thing. Thank you for having this chat with me. I'm sure we're going to have this conversation again. Let's keep talking.
Thank you for having me, KENI. I'm looking forward to seeing other guests as well. Hear their views.
Quite a number of people will be coming to have this chat with me, and we just want to make sure that we put the most important matters on the table and discuss them. Put our voice out there and be heard.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonah. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.